So I think we could probably convert this content before or after it's converted to Markdown, but I think I would rather do it on the raw uh, text first, then convert it to Markdown, and then render it out. So let's create a variable here. We'll just call it string or content equals. Okay, and then we need to define a regular expression. We'll call it regular. And this I'm going to have to look up. Don't know these off the top of my head. Okay, so found it. So we're basically looking for these two curly brackets and then anything in between. We're looking for anything in between curly brackets, basically. So that's our regular expression. Then we need to define what are our variables. How are we going to get those? Okay, so our custom fields are custom fields, and then let's go ahead and create a line here. So we're also going to need a variable for what we find in the regular expression. So let's just establish that. Now we're just going to create a while loop to loop through any of these found regular expressions. So I think it should go like while custom fields, or no, regular expression, call execute on that, our content. Okay, so let's put this in the debugger and see what we find. Got a small screen here. I'll try to open this up for you a little bit. Probably don't need to see much of that. And here we go. Okay, so found at this point, found 0, oops, is going to be our curly brackets and everything. Found 1 is just what's in the middle. So now we need to take and use this to find our what is our company. How do we find the variable for that? So what we can do is we know that's going to be listed in our custom fields, and so that's an array. So we're going to need to filter this array and return until we find company. So let's see if we can practice that here. We'll say custom fields filter, and just say C, or probably makes better sense F, and we want to say F dot, and what do we call name equals found 1. We need to return that. And we want to get the first example. We gotta write our function correctly first, I guess. And we're missing our final bracket. I wish wish the Chrome inspector could help us out with the code there. Okay. Then we can get the value, DWD. Perfect. So let's copy this. Okay, so now we have a value, or we don't have a value. And then we'll say if value, then we're going to take our content and we're going to set it equal to content dot place our found 0 with the value. Now else we want to kind of do the same thing, except for since we didn't find a value, I'm gonna spell that right, we want to do something here and just replace it with, we need to kind of like let the user know, or let the writer know. Okay, so we'll say it's not found. All right, and if that works correctly, then we're going to keep looping through that and looking for any more regular expressions. So we're replacing content, so it's going to take those curly brackets out as we replace it. Then we'll convert to Markdown, and we just need to convert the content now. See what that looks like. Okay, we have an error here. So value is not defined. Oh yeah, I'd like for you to, I think that might be something in Webpack. Cool, so there it is. We got BWD, we got the customer. Now if we want to change these values, let's see if we can get this on one screen. I'm going to zoom out just so we can see it change. Cool. Pretty neat. So now if we save that, let's refresh, and still there. Cool. So let's see what happens if we create some bogus field there. Looks like nothing happens, and we would expect something to happen, but maybe this is not such a bad output or outcome. It's pretty obvious that it's not there. You know, if it was more sophisticated, we would want to pop an alert out up at the top and say that the field bogus is not found or something like that. But I'm curious why this is not finding it. Okay, so there's company, customer name. Oh, okay, so now we're getting an error. And so now it knows that it, I'm suspecting that because we're not, our filter is empty, so we can't call value on this object that doesn't exist. So probably the easiest way to fix this is leave that out, and then we'll say like so. So now we're checking to see if there's a value in this filtered array, and then if there is, we'll take the first element out of there, call value on it, and maybe that will work. Okay. Okay, so I think we need to do a little bit better. JavaScript is going to call or be true on calling value on this empty array. So there's probably a better way to do this, but I'll just say value.length is greater than 0. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so now we get kind of an error here, not found, and we know that there's an issue with that variable. Okay, so I think we're done in the sense that we accomplished the main goal, which is being able to create a contract. So now the contract doesn't do as much good unless we can share this with our customers. So maybe we will create a view where we can share this through an authenticated URL and send it to our client.